5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! You have to listen to my calls, I beg you. 15 downhill, triple caution! Triple cautions! You're not concentrating, you have to listen. Can you please concentrate? Please, I beg you. Into double caution jump! Double caution jump! No! Not listening. Shut up. No, I'm just giving you advice. Don't tell me how to drive.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 4 of Decoding Dakar. If you are watching this and you're new to the channel, please go and check out what Decoding Dakar is. If you're a return customer, guys, thank you so much for watching. Everybody watching and sharing the content really helps me on my journey to Dakar. So let's just jump straight into Decoding Dakar episode 4. We are going to be looking at all the changes that is coming for Dakar 2025, all the features. We are going to be looking at the application process up to this point, like, you know, what I have had to do and what I'm doing. We're going to be looking at selections, and then we will just recap everything we've been busy with up until now, which is pretty much mid-July. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please like and subscribe. Guys, every subscription helps me. We're at 980 something. I really want to try and get to 1,000 subscribers before Dakar. So if somebody can please, if you guys can share it with your family and friends, ask them to subscribe. That would really help me. It doesn't cost any money and it helps me kind of gain a wider audience, and definitely helps the algorithm so that we can get the word of rally out there and get more people into it. Right, so the selection process. Guys, the entries for Dakar, anybody that's following Dakar would know this, the entries opened on the 18th of May with a big fanfare. The Dakar launched their Dakar World Tour. They went all over the world. They went to South Africa, they went to Mexico, they went to South America, and they went all over Europe. I went to see them in Ensenada in Mexico during the Baja 500, so that was super cool. So the entries opened on the 18th. You fill in, you register on the website, you fill in an entry form, you pay your deposit, and then you send in what they call your project, and that is effectively, like it was in the old days, your file, your application file, which is effectively a full-on race CV that lists everything you've ever done, and the biggest part of that is the reason that you want to do Dakar. Why do you want to go and do Dakar? This application file or project really counts for a lot. It's probably the most important part of the application. So mine was done already in April. I worked really hard on it. Mine is like 17 pages long. I'm super happy with it, super proud of it. And then you fill in a questionnaire, and then the entries close on the 15th of July. So next to around about in the next few weeks, the entries close. And then you have the selection process for the bikes, which hopefully, theoretically, we should know around 22 July. So fingers crossed, big anticipation building up to that. So I'm super excited for that. So that's pretty much how it works, right? Once you get accepted, there's a balance that you have to pay, obviously, getting towards Dakar, and hopefully, in my case, I'm with a team. If you're on your own, you know, once you get accepted, everything kicks into high gear. And for me, that would be the same thing. Funding, training, everything just gets to be full-blown Dakar, laser focused. That's all that we're doing. As for the changes, it's not really changes, it's features in the Dakar this year. There's quite a few. Most of these changes and features were kind of introduced at the World Tour from the ASO. And jumping straight into that, we can look at, let's start with the chrono, right? So the chrono, 48-hour chrono stage is back, guys. It's not just back, it's back with a vengeance. Last year, the chrono stage was around 550 kilometers over 2 days. This year, the chrono is going to be over 900 kilometers. They're talking about 950 kilometers for the chrono. So that's a pretty hectic stage to do over 2 days. The main difference is that this year, the stage is varied, whereas last year the stage was 100% sand. So I'm guessing we're going to see more hard pack, faster stages, but a much longer stage, probably some rocks. It's also worth noting that there's still a normal marathon stage. So the chrono stage makes it that you have 2 marathon stages this year in the Dakar. The marathon stage itself is going to be, I believe, I'm speaking under correction, around 850 kilometers for the actual marathon stage, which is also just mind-blowing. Looking after yourself and your bike for such a long time, making sure nothing breaks, is going to be tough. But that's really, really interesting to see the coming back of the chrono. I know a lot of guys really liked it. Then after the chrono, big news for the last stage. We have a mass start like in the old days. I think that's going to be so cool, having all the bikes line up and just go. That's going to be really, really epic, and I'm really excited for that. And then I think one of the big things for me, actually the biggest thing for me, is that the penultimate stage, the second to last stage, will be a stage of 100% dunes, deep in the empty quarter, and it will be over 400 Ks. I think they're talking about 450 Ks for that stage. Now, for you guys that have raced in the sand before and in the desert, would know that 400 Ks, 450 Ks of racing, especially in the empty quarter, is a challenge like none other. In Abu Dhabi, our stages were 250 to 280 kilometers. And even last year with the chrono, if you took 550 and you divided it by 2, that would give you 225 kilometers for a stage. So the penultimate stage of Dakar 2025 is going to be a true test of man and machine, and frankly something I'm a little bit scared about, and definitely basing a lot of my training and planning around getting to that stage. First getting to the marathon, to the race day, then getting to that stage, and then surviving that stage. That's going to be really, really interesting. It's also a good time to mention that a lot of the sand racing will be back in the empty quarter. We're finishing in 𝘰𝘰𝘗. It is definitely a really, really good place to finish for dunes, really deep in the empty quarter, very close to the UAE border. And I am assuming the terrain would be quite similar to what we've done in the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge. We're starting in Baja, and that will be on the 1st and 2nd. The 1st and 2nd of January will be scrutineering, and then prologue would be on the 3rd of January. The prologue finishes in the bivouac next to the start stage, podium. And then from there we have 14 stages of racing to finish in 𝘰𝘰𝘗 in the empty quarter. It's also worth noting that there will be 5 stages of split courses where the bikes and the cars will not share the course. It will be only bikes and only cars, and they'll be separate. That's going to be super interesting, and it's really, I'm excited for that. It's going to make the stages faster, safer, and as the ASO said, they wanted to make sure that people don't finish so late at night, because as many of you would know, once the cars catch you, your speed just goes down a cliff and it becomes really dangerous. One of the empty quarter stages, the trucks actually do a completely separate stage. So there's going to be a lot of that. And then there's going to be 5 loop stages as well. Again, with Dakar in 24, a lot of people, a lot of support crews really struggled to get to the bivouacs. It was like in the old times where they had to race. And a lot of the times the racers beat the support trucks to the bivouacs. And because of that, Dakar this year said we're going to dial it down a bit. We're going to have some loop stages so that the support crews and the mechanics and all of the bivouac guys don't have to rush all the way to the next bivvy. I think those are the big things. There's a big for the cars and the trucks. There's a big focus on biofuels. Dacia is running a synthetic fuel car. That's going to be really interesting to see. Dakar is really doing a lot to kind of build towards sustainability, and we'll all be watching very closely to see how that pans out and how that figures into all of it. I believe those are the main changes or things to look out for. I think if you're looking at the top guys, it's going to be really interesting to see how they plan for that penultimate stage and how they're going to race. So it's going to be very interesting. But definitely with all the changes, Dakar is trying to go back to the Dakar of old. So that to me is really exciting, and I cannot wait to go and experience it. So I think from a Decoding Dakar standpoint, that's pretty much where we are. Applications is in. We're waiting for approval or acceptance, and the route has been revealed. Now comes the wait and the training. As to where we've been and what we're doing, guys, a lot going on there. The last one we talked about, there was Abu Dhabi and SoCal. So straight after SoCal, not very long afterwards, I went to Utah. I met with the importers of Kove, so Kov Moto USA. I stayed there. I stayed with a good friend of mine there, Jaden Russell. We made some road books. We wrote some road books. Gary, the owner of Kove, showed me around, and we've got big plans coming for Salt Lake City, Utah, as far as road books and just rally in general, Kove and rally in general. This year we're putting the building blocks in place, but watch this space. We're definitely building and developing something. And a big shout out for Kove. As you guys would know, Kove is giving me a training bike this year to ride on and to critique as I feel and see fit. And so far, really no negative feedback on the bike. I'm really loving it. I'm really enjoying it. And being out in Salt Lake, or the Utah in general, but Salt Lake was amazing. There's so much history there. The riding is phenomenal. That part of the desert was really nice. And the people that I met there were so passionate about showing me around and showing me what the area has to offer that we will definitely be back. Kove USA have just shifted into a new facility. There is a lot of development there, bigger, better, cleaner space with a lot of bikes. So guys, with the 800 coming soon, the 450s having been homologated and street legal, make sure you check out the Kove bikes. I can highly recommend them. It has really been a blast training on that. Then after Kove was the big one, right? The big rally school in Colorado with Skool of Moto. Some of the best fun I had this year. I mean, I say this of every event, but Skool of Moto's rally school was it was so good. I used the time there to train. So we had 2 rally schools over 2 weekends of groups of between 10 to 12 people. Massive shout out to Moto Minded and to Donnie and Corbin from Skool of Moto. Skool of Moto put up the venue. They gave us basically everything we needed. We co-hosted the event with Skool of Moto. Definitely a lot of events coming with them. We have a lot planned. I've done a ton of road books up there. And then the same with Chris from Moto Minded. Chris stepped up. He's very close to Skool of Moto. He's also got a campsite at his place, and he's also helped a lot with the rally tab, mount development, and they just looked after us so well, and he helped me so much. So thank you, Chris and Moto Minded. Thank you, Donnie. And for you guys that missed out on the rally school this year, please check it out. We're definitely going to do more in the future. In short, this year the rally school was basically beginner, 100% beginner. It was for people that really didn't have a good grasp or has never done road books. Our aim with that was 100% to make it just accessible. Now, a lot of experienced riders came and just to enjoy it and to have the opportunity to ride a roadbook. Stage 1 every day of the 2 camps was super technical as far as navigation was concerned. The riding was fairly easy, but navigation was really tough. We're talking green notes, like, every 300 meters a note less. It was really hard navigation for the beginning. And the reason for that, the mindset of that was simply that, if you have the concept down of navigation, it's much easier to extrapolate it over longer distances. So having tight, short navigation on top of each other really helped. And a lot of those guys are going to go out and do races and rallies now, so we will see how they do. But so stage 1, day 1, very tight, short navigation. And then stage 2 or day 2, much longer navigation as far as a longer stage with wider spacing of notes, so that you can go faster and so that you can experience what it's like to ride a rally stage. But the bigger thing for me about School of Moto was the fun we had. It wasn't serious, it was super fun. We had fires, we had barbecues, we had Mexican, and everybody just had a blast. A lot of us arrived as strangers and left as friends. It's kind of one of my slogans these days for these events. But even the old friends that came, they all, you get to know somebody on a deeper level on a weekend like that when you sit around the fire and talk. So definitely School of Moto, my happy place in Colorado. In between, I was on the Kove training and making roadbooks. Some absolutely phenomenal riding out there. So Donnie at the School of Moto has a campsite, so if you ever want to explore that area, Delta, Montrose, they have an awesome campsite. Hit them up, check them out. So even if you don't want to take a class, which again, they're super good at their classes, make sure you check them out. They offer camping as well, so have a look at that. After School of Moto, I was back in New Hampshire, and we had the first, before that, man, it got so crazy. So straight after School of Moto, I flew down to Ensenada for the Baja 500, met a lot of old friends and people there that I know, and we had what I talked about earlier, the Dakar World Tour, put on by Darren and Aaron from Sonora Rally. They did a lot of legwork to get them here, and Ronan 𝘊𝘬𝘬, the competition or the competitor relation officer from Dakar himself, was there. So it was really good to meet the people that makes these decisions, really good to ask them questions. There was a lot of US rally riders there, a lot of Dakar finishers there, so it was a really nice evening. I was put up by Mao from Lost in Baja, and also the Baja Rally. So you guys will see I'm wearing my Baja Rally shirt. Really good reminder, guys, that if you have not entered for the Baja Rally, it is time to do so. The clock is ticking, and this year is proving to be very exciting. Scotty is out looking at new routes and making roadbooks, and I will be down in Mexico in August to pre-run those stages and to check them and to see what those roadbooks are like. So we are super excited. Just a quick shout out to Baja Rally Comp in October. Thank you so much for what you guys do, and we're really excited to be seeing all of you at the Baja Rally in October. Right, so after Ensenada, we had the first ever roadbook in New Hampshire and Vermont. It was I called it New Hampshire Vermont Taste of Rally, or Intro to Rally. That was up in Lancaster, New Hampshire, and we crossed into Vermont. That was kind of arranged, organized by 186 ADV. Mark, thank you so much. It was a really great day out. We did the roadbooks together, and then we all rode just for a day. But bringing roadbooks to a part of the country that's not used to roadbooks and that hasn't seen much roadbooks, it's pretty fulfilling and exciting, and it's really good to work with local people that can find all the gravel roads, because there's not that much riding up here. So that was the New Hampshire roadbook day, let's call it. Right, so then I was home for a very short time, and then it was the long awaited Boreal Royale up in Alberta. Fort McMurray, hosted by Ride North Moto. So Billy and Mike from Ride North Moto really did a great job. They got Emily Roberts from Mojo, the magazine, up there. They had Lawrence Hacking up there on a Pan America of all things. For you guys that don't know, Lawrence was the first Canadian to finish Dakar. He wrote an awesome book. Definitely, highly recommend you read it if you're into rally. And Emily is a coach and the, I believe, editor of Moto Mojo, the magazine in Canada. So for the Boreal Royale, I was told so much by Mike about the sand, and as with anything, you know, you don't know what to expect until you're there. The sand up north of Fort McMurray in the Canadian wilderness is phenomenal. It is deep. For South Africans or people from Africa, I can equate it to the Kalahari sand, a little bit more rutted and deeper. It's just this wide open road. So in winter it's a ice road. The Ride North Moto guys do a ride as well, the ice road ride, which is, I believe, a charity ride. And the way that the ice roads work, for you guys that don't know, I certainly didn't know, is that a lot of these villages that are rural northern Canada, and I guess in Alaska as well, do not have road access. So most of the time you can only get to the village by boat or by water. So in the summer, those villages are cut off completely. But in the winter, there's a road that goes to these villages. But because of the wet, you can't really ride it. So what they do in the winter is they flood the road, the entire road, and then the road ices over and it becomes an ice road that big trucks can ride in. So in the middle of winter, they get most of their supplies, their fuels, a lot of food, anything they need for the village goes up in winter time. In summer, the ice melts and the road just becomes a big sand road. The sand in this part of Canada, as explained to us by Glenn, I believe, who's a environmentalist or geologist, he was really cool. He explained a lot of stuff to us as to what that area, how it works, how the tar sands in northern Alberta works. And it's crazy. Like, you get the oil literally runs out of the ground there. It's insane. But the reason there's sand there is as the glaciers retreated, they moved a bunch of sand to that area, and that's why it's so sandy there. So great sand riding for anybody that ever want to experience it. The overall experience of the Boreal Royale was great. The organization was wonderful. Again, the level of fun we had, the camping, and what they went for was a whole weekend of multifaceted stuff. So it wasn't just Roadbooks. Roadbooks played a part of it. I did the Roadbook navigation part, and we kind of did a lot of the training before the time. And then Emily did a clinic, and then we went camping, literally in the wild of Canada. We went swimming in the lake. We had proper Canadian barbecues. And you know, we just did a lot of fun things. Harley came out and had a demo day with the Pan Americas, which, by the way, I got to ride a Pan America. That was pretty cool. And what I also enjoyed is that everybody was riding everybody's bikes, feeling it, testing it. And then also I was riding a Kove Canada. Henry and Josh came up. I stayed with them for a while afterwards. They supported me, provided a bike for me to ride. So massive shout out to Kove Canada. You guys are awesome. We had 3 bikes there that people could demo and ride. And again, you know, the comments on the Kove in the sand, especially that sand and how it tracked in that sand, it was just so stable, and none of them had steering stabilizers on. I couldn't believe how stable it sits at 120, 140 in the sand. The thing about that sand, as I guess with all sand, is just you can never let up. So, you know, it was a long section where you just had to go flat out and not slow down. If you did slow down, you did have a crash most of the time. So it was fun. There was a lot of people doing roadbooks for the first time, and I could see that they really enjoyed it. So also everybody that played a role in the Ride North Moto, Chris, Mike, Billy, Glenn, I know I'm missing a bunch of people, but you know what I loved about it was how everybody that was from Fort McMurray wanted everybody to have a good time, and they really worked together. They really pulled together to kind of create an experience for everybody. So thank you for that. I'm hoping to be back next year, hoping that we'll see some more people up there, and it was just a really fun event, really good for sand riding and training. So we'll definitely make more roadbooks out there and give you guys more opportunities to not just ride but experience that area. So I think that's pretty much it. I know I'm missing some stuff, but you know, it has been so busy since the last one. It's just running, but it's all good. I'm really enjoying it. This is the year to it, right? I set out this year to do exactly that. So right now, what's next? Okay, so at the moment, I am getting ready. We are headed to South Africa, myself and my daughter. She's on school holidays now. So we're going to go, and she's going to visit family. I'm going to go training, do a little bit of work with my business there as well, make sure everything is okay. And then focus on riding and training. It's winter now in South Africa. It's been the coldest it has been in many years. So I am a little bit like, I feel like summer, but at the same time, everybody tells me how cold it is in the mornings in Dakar. So it'll be good cold training. We're planning to do some long, hard, tough days, so we'll put that on the Instagram stories. Check that out. Then coming back here to the States, and we will be doing the checks of the Baja Rally Roadbooks. The Hisega Taste of Rally is another rally camp I am doing in South Dakota in the Black Hills. It's hosted by Hisega Adventure. Guys, if you are in that side of the world and you want to experience rally, please check it out. There will be a link. It will be mainly wider open roads. I don't think it'll be very technical, but dirt bikes and adventure bikes would be good. Mostly or all digital, really. We could do paper, but we focus on digital. So please check out the Hisega rally camp, Taste of Rally. I'm really excited about that. That'll be in September. I've never seen the Black Hills. I've never been to South Dakota, so I'm really excited for that. I actually met our host at one of the rally schools. So Mike Flannery, big shout out. I'm excited to see you guys again. So hit them up, make sure that you check that out. It would be really great if you guys join us, and it will help me. It will help Decoding Dakar if I see you there. After Hisega, it will be the Baja Rally. Guys, make sure to enter. And then after the Baja Rally, I am headed to South Africa in the end of October for the Cape Roadbook Camp. Now, the Cape Roadbook Camp, this year we did not have a Karoo Roadbook Camp. The Cape Roadbook Camp is taking the Karoo Roadbook Camp's place for this year. We will bring the Karoo Roadbook Camp back in future. But the Cape Roadbook Camp definitely drew a lot of inspiration from SoCal. So thanks Dan and the team for inspiring me and for giving me some ideas there. And what we're going to do at the Cape Roadbook Camp is, number one, is going to be a fundraiser for me. So Amber Station is going to be doing the tracking. Sarl, massive shout out, thank you so much. And then also the Berg River Resort is going to give us a campsite. So Chris Usha from the Berg River Resort, massive shout out to you. Thank you so much for that. I'm excited to kick back on the banks of the Berg River during our rest times when we're not out riding. But the concept of the Cape Roadbook Camp is it's going to be over a weekend, and there's going to be a bunch of roadbooks, and you as a rider is going to choose your own adventure. So you can choose the distance and the difficulty of the roadbook you want to do. What that does is it allows us to open up the event to so many more people, right? So now, yes, if you are an experienced rally rider and you want to make 2 or 3 days of hard rally riding, you can do that. There will be enough roadbooks for you to do that. If you are a guy that's done a few roadbooks and you just want to chill, you can do that because you can choose just to do one roadbook a day. if you are somebody on a big bike and you've always wanted to experience rally, I have made at least 4 or 5 stages where it is adventure bike friendly, and you can take your adventure bike. I even have a stage where you can sleep out, where it will take you 2 days to do the stage. So really the Cape Roadbook Camp's aim is to be inclusive. I would like it to be a fundraiser for Decoding Dakar, because it'll be closer towards Dakar time, but it'll also be training for me. So we will even have sand stages out in Atlantis for the more serious rally guys, a lot of cap work there, a lot of tough riding. So really we'll have something for everybody in the Cape Roadbook Camp. So I'm really excited about that. So please make sure to check that out. That is at the end of October. Then for November, I'm training, riding as much as I can for Dakar. And the plan is to take off and eat and build up weight and muscle, or maybe more weight than muscle, in December. And then hopefully we will be talking to you guys from Dakar. So in between now and then, obviously I will be doing a few more episodes. But the big thing for now is to make sure that you check out what we're doing, sign up for what you can sign up if you can support me, check out the rally tab, please share the word with your friends and your family. Guys, I'm going to need all the support I can get, and once I have that acceptance letter, I will not be shy about asking for it. So please have a look at it. If you guys find any value in this, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and over and above that, if there's anything specific you want to see, give me a shout out. Let me make sure that I provide the content to you that you want to see. Great. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap for episode 4 of Decoding Dakar. I cannot wait to see some of you. I cannot wait to be riding with some of you soon. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week. Chat soon, and we'll catch up with Decoding Dakar episode 5. Also, just a massive shout out to all our sponsors and supporters. Thank you very much, guys. Without you, this would not be possible.